नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम् एगो 5 मिनट I am telling about the beauty of the Ukraine. You are watching the video which is the most beautiful video of Ukraine, a very developed country, and Ukraine people are peace loving. How can you destroy the buildings? How can you kill the persons? And how can you kill the whole nation? If you kill, will you get satisfaction? And it will be your victory. Will it be your victory? Now humanity is crying. Russia attacked Ukraine. Ukrainian people are in deep crisis. I do admit that there will be big difference between Russian people and Ukrainian people. But war is not the solution. If we have differences, we will use atom bombs. We will destroy the whole human community, and we will tell that we are brave. No. Differences will be, and differences are. Differences are present, and differences will be present, but it is not the solution. We should not attack on the sovereignty and integrity of any country. We should respect. As far as problems are concerned, we should come on the table peacefully, and we should try to resolve it. Problems are the life, and no life can tell that I have no problems. There is big difference between Ukrainian administration and Russian administration. Ukraine was the part of Russia, but now it is separated from Russian. It has its independent entity, it has its independent rupees, and it has its independent boundaries. It is hard when President of Ukraine tried to be the member of NATO, and this has become very painful to Russian President Mr. Putin. Mr. Putin did not like NATO's forces, and if Ukraine will have the compromise with NATO's, the NATO forces will come closer to Russian boundaries. No doubt, it is a big question. No doubt, it is a big problem for integrity and sovereignty of Russia. I do admit that Russia has big trouble, and no country will like that the animal country will come closer to them. If Ukraine will be part of NATO, the NATO forces will come in the Ukraine, and so that they will come closer to Soviet Russia. And in that very situation, Russia will be forced to face the enemies in a shortest possible time. So, President of Russia did not want that NATO forces will come closer to me and Ukraine should never be a part of NATO. I do admit that it's a painful situation for Russia and Ukraine should think about it that they should not go in the hands of NATO forces because it will be a biggest conflict between Russia and Ukraine and it had become biggest conflict and war is on. Russian President Mr. Putin had attacked on Ukraine and Ukrainian people are suffering. In the same time, I would say that why we tell that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, all the members of the world are brother and sisters. They are kutum to each other. So we should live happily and we have right to live happily and allow others to live happily. You are watching the pictures of Ukraine. It is developed country. It is peace-loving country. You are seeing the biggest buildings which are showing the architect engineering of Ukrainian people. But when Russia has attacked Ukraine, all this property are destroyed day by day. And Ukrainian military facing big trouble. Russia had tried to capture the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, but Iranian Ukrainian military facing very bravely. In the course of these differences and attacks, European countries, France, America, England, Australia, are helping Ukraine. And this clearly shows that the fight between Ukraine and Russia will go and will go. It will prolong. And if the fight will prolong, the Russian president will be forced to sink because in this era of 22, after Corona, the money power of each and every country is weakened, is lost more or less. And if the fight will continue for more than 7 days, 10 days, it will be the biggest problem for Russian economy and Ukrainian economy. People will be first forced to face in Sanjukta Action 193 countries had casted their vote against Russia. In UNO, people of different countries are against this war and they don't want that Russia should come more forward to destroy Ukraine. And in that very condition, the war will be prolonged and there will be biggest loss of lives and money. And this will be a biggest problem for economy of Russia and Ukraine also. Not only these two countries, but other countries will be forced to suffer a lot. Sensex will come down and people will be forced to be hunger, to be clothless, and to be houseless. The basic requirements of human community is not bomb, rifles, grenades. Basic requirement of human community is roti, clothes, and houses. And but after this war between Ukraine and Russia, the people will be forced to suffer. They will be forced to be hunger. They will be forced to have no services, and their safety of economy will be lost. But it is a good news that India has taken position